You will recall that last year, President Ruto hosted, in conjunction with the World Bank, the IDA 21 replenishment conference here in Nairobi, where there were several heads of state, including the current AUC, African Union chairman, the president of Mauritania. Ladies and gentlemen, that effort, that convention was able to rally, which has now become official from the World Bank, an excess of $100 billion as the IDA 21 replenishment to help support the IDA recipient countries, which are close to 75 or slightly more globally. And this perhaps becomes a very good forum so that the conversations that you come up with can help in enriching the use of those resources so that they are directed to environment-friendly programs in all these 75 countries. I think that is a very, very significant development. And I would really want to urge all of us to see the significance of having a very robust diplomatic initiative and engagement with other countries, because it is through that kind of arrangement that Kenya's leadership, in conjunction with other partners and friendly countries, have able to rally the global community to raise these resources. That is a very significant development. Formally, the Cabinet of Kenya has now approved the sessional paper on diplomacy and given the go-ahead for it to be tabled in Parliament, which will happen next week when Parliament reopens, so that it goes through the first reading, and then it will be available for further conversation and debate by a wider cross-section of the Kenyan people and our partners. This time, we are making it clear that diplomacy is not an exclusive club. We want diplomacy mashinani. We want the people to understand what is our policy across various issues, and we want them to engage so that it is no longer a mystery that diplomats are seen carrying a briefcase into a plane, and then they are seen coming back, and they are assumed that they were just having a cocktail somewhere. Let us share in reality what is all this diplomacy about. For Kenya's purpose, our constitution recognizes diplomacy or the foreign aspect as one of the arms or the pillars under the national security architecture. And if you look at Article 240 of the Constitution, it is very specific that it falls within that category. So Cabinet has also corrected an anomaly which has been lingering for a long time, because for some reason the foreign agenda was being regarded as just a normal administrative affair. And now it sits with clarity in accordance with the Constitution where it should have been for a very long time. So I thought this comes to you so that even within the framework of debates, we now fall within the security sector working group for planning purposes. One of the things that the Aga Khan was pushing for was to partner with the county government of Nairobi so that they can preserve, protect, and make the city park more friendly the way Karura Forest has been made through partnership with other people. Perhaps as a befitting tribute, as you could have this conversation around the environment, this is something that can be advanced so that we can live on positive ideas that were mooted but were not executed. We still have an opportunity to carry that forward. And perhaps this is a very good moment so that Joe Ageo can help in rallying this message through his media house to galvanize support for this very, very noble cause to improve one of our very, very good parks in Nairobi, make it better, make it user-friendly, give it greater security so that people can walk the way it is when you do walk in Karura Forest. And that is where you pay tribute to the Wangare Maathais of this world and other partners who have really supported that. We also want to see protection of the Ngong forests and other areas, our national park. We want to see in far-flung places the Maragoli Hills rehabilitated in Western Kenya. We sometimes also forget that there are some politicians who may have caused trouble, but in their own way they were interesting. There was Karaoke Chotara. If you went to Naivasha today, you'll not believe that we politicians, as much as we can be rabble-rousers, Karaoke Chotara actually spearheaded the greening of, when you drive down to Naivasha and you see all those trees, he was at the center of planting that. So there, even from politicians, some good things do emerge. We politicians, as much as we can be rabble-rousers, Karaoke Chotara actually spearheaded the greening of, when you drive down to Naivasha and you see all those trees, he was at the center of planting that. So there, even from politicians, some good things do emerge. Then you can go to an elder like Mulu Mutisia with President Moi, and there was the famous Munyonyoko wa Udongo, the building of gabions and helping to rehabilitate degraded land. There were initiatives that perhaps were ridiculed, even by maybe not exactly social media. It was not as robust then. But some of these initiatives were being ridiculed and so forth, but give it to them. As unschooled as some of them may have been, they were actually conscious that protecting the environment was absolutely essential. And we need to go take a step back and pick up from some of these areas and make sure that we really protect our environment.